Hey everybody, Patric Fransko here today to talk to you about how to build a commercial flat glass audience on Meta or Facebook and Instagram. If you've seen a previous video, we talked a little bit about how to use the back end of Facebook Ads Manager to build audiences so you can have very targeted audiences for your advertising. And we talked about how to build a homeowner audience. In this video, we're going to talk about how to build an audience to hit people that are flat glass decision makers or for commercial flat glass. So if you remember from the first video, we started out right here, which is the back end of Facebook Ads Manager, which you could get to if you're not going in and running your ads through there. I would suggest you do that. You can find it just by Googling Facebook Ads Manager and logging into your Facebook account from there. It's going to bring you into Ads Manager. The page is going to look a lot like this. This is where you could create your ads. But today we're building an audience that we could use in our ads. So what we want to do is go over to these three lines right here. That is the tools, and we want to click audiences. When we do that, we're going to pull up a page that shows our sample account that shows here's the homeowner audience we built previously. But here we're going to go ahead and we're going to create a new audience, and we're going to select saved audience for this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to call this commercial flat glass. Now this is going to begin to show up in your ads when you begin to run them as an audience you could choose. So name it something you're going to remember and that you could easily select. The next thing we're going to talk about again is this locations tab. There's four options: people living in or recently in this location, people living in this location, people recently in this location, and people traveling in this location from a home that's more than 125 miles away. Now, because we're trying to reach people probably where they work or potentially where they live and work, we're probably going to choose people living in or recently in this location because they may be traveling from outside the location to get to where their offices are at or things like that. So we're going to go ahead and click that. The other thing we're going to need to do is define the territory. We don't want to hit the whole United States. So we're going to X out of that. And again, we're going to use our headquarters as Chagrin Falls. Actually, that's not what I want to do. I apologize. You guys know that I'm doing this live because I'm leaving the mistakes and everything in. Chagrin Falls, Ohio. What it's going to do is default to a 25-mile radius. Again, that picks up the whole Cleveland, Akron area. So you can see that that's a pretty good area. Now, again, people living in or recently in this location, you notice that the audience size is 1.4 million to 1.7 million. Huge audience of people that is in this area. So again, we want to narrow that down because those aren't all people that have the ability to make a decision about flat glass. The first way we can start narrowing it down is by age. Obviously, people that are making a decision about commercial flat glass are probably not 18. So let's go ahead and bump that up to, let's say, 24. Maybe a couple years out of college, something like that. Maybe they might be in that position. And they might not be 65 plus. That's typically going to be somebody that's retired. So let's go ahead and bump that down to 62 and narrow that audience. And as we do that, you already see that we're down to 1 million to 1.2. So we reduced that audience fairly significantly just by changing the age. I would leave the gender as all, unless you're specifically running an ad to try to reach men or women particularly. The main area where we're going to do the work right here is in the detailed targeting. Now, if you think about it, who are the people that you would be trying to reach that would be decision makers about doing commercial window film or something like that? You're talking about people that own a business, people that are facilities managers, people that are property managers, things like that. So let's go ahead and just type one of those things in here, property manager. And what you want to look at is it gives you a variety of different things like property manager. You notice here it says employers, but here you see property manager job title. This is where you can really narrow it down. You're going to look for the job title that somebody is saying that they've populated their own Facebook page with as a way to define people. So let's go ahead and choose property manager as one of the first things. And let's go ahead and say, I don't know, facility manager as another. And again, you see a couple different things: facilities management, interests, but no, we want to select job title. Now we've got a couple of these things in, and now we can kind of let the Meta algorithm start to give us suggestions. So Here's one that says owner or property manager. That might be a good one. Facilities manager, job title. Commercial property manager, that's in the job title. Facilities maintenance manager, facilities management, property manager. So these are all relevant. Let's go ahead and click all these and just get an idea. Facility supervisor, there's another one. So as you notice, now we've dropped this down by choosing those to below 1,000, which again, in this geographic area, now we're targeting people specifically with these job titles. Now that might be a little bit narrower than we want to go. The other thing you can do is you could target people by their employer. So one of the largest commercial property owners and managers in the country is CB Richard Ellis, or CBRE. So let's go ahead and put CBRE in there, and you'll notice that one of the things that comes up is CBRE is an employer. So now by selecting this, I'm targeting anybody that's employed by CB Richard Ellis. So let's go ahead and click that. And if we go back up here, you'll notice it still hasn't raised it that much. But if we go to suggestions, you'll start seeing some other companies that are facilities management companies like Knight Frank, Seville's, I'm just Colliers. So what we're doing, DTZ. What we're doing is we are, facilities engineer, job title. That sounds like a good one as well. What we're doing is we're selecting people that either work for companies that manage properties or have a job title that indicates that they manage properties. So as you see, there's a lot of different things we can, that we can select from. We could even say, we want to even be able to go smaller. So we could say small business owner, because if they own a small business, they may need a couple windows done. So let's go ahead and put small business owner in. And here's small business owner is small business owners is a behavior. So that's saying that's something that they do. It's not necessarily a title they put there, but they're a small business owner. So let's go ahead and select that. Now, if we go up here, we're going to see if we include those, which would include a lot of small business owners, now this number is up there at the 27,000 range. Again, we started that at 1.4 million. So you see how we've reduced it quite a bit. We've included small business owners. We've included facilities managers, large facility ownership companies like CB Richard Ellis, Knight Frank, things like that. And we're targeting this 25-mile radius. So we're down to 27,000. This gives you a good solid audience to go after without being too large. And I think this would be something that you could obviously always continue to fine tune and add, but this would be a good place to start. You can create a saved audience. And what you're going to see then when you look at your audiences, you now have two audiences, a homeowner audience and a commercial flat glass. When you go in to run an ad now, you're going to be able to select from a saved audience, homeowner audience, commercial glass. You can continue to build out different types of audiences for different types of posts that you want to run, which is going to let you really target in, give yourself a better return on investment by running targeted ads versus broad scope ads to everybody, even though you're hitting a lot of people that aren't interested in the services or products that you're offering. So hopefully this shows you how to get in a little bit more fine-tuned on how you're running those audiences. And we'll talk some more. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But this gives you hopefully a really good idea of how to build these audiences. With that, take care.